Hi, this is Dave. Welcome to HitFlix. And today I'm here with my wife Michelle, and we are going to talk about a movie that we saw a few days ago called A Dark Song. It's a brand new, independent Irish horror, psychological thriller type film. Really, really different. And we want to discuss that a little bit and tell you what we thought about it. The first thing I want to start off with is most psychological thriller, horror type movies, especially horror films today, especially American made horror films, are really badly done. I mean, they just are terrible. It's the same thing over and over, and now a lot of them are just low budget actors you've never heard of, never seen before, and they do a really bad job of acting, and it's just the same thing over and over and over. Well, this film, I've never seen the actors in this film, but what really was impressive is there's only 4 actors in the whole movie, and 2 of them are just on screen briefly, just very briefly. The whole movie is 2 actors, a man, this magician, and this woman in this house that she has rented, and they're going to do this ritual, this elaborate occult ritual, so that she can talk to her son again, her son who was killed. And the rest of the movie is the 2 of them in this house doing this ritual. And I'll just start off by saying that I thought the acting was awesome. I thought they were great. I thought neither one of them lacked. They played together really, really well. And I thought they did a really good job. What do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was very well done. It built a lot of tension, which I really liked. It was absolutely stunning. It was a great movie, and the story was great, and it was very visual, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, I loved it as well. I thought it was a great, great movie. Now, we saw some previews, or we saw some reviews afterwards by a lot of younger people who saw this film at film festivals and caught it, and said that they called it a slow burn. They said the movie was very, very slow. It took a long time to build up. The first 45 minutes to an hour was really kind of hard to sit through, but then it picks up. See, I didn't see it that way at all because, first of all, I'm used to watching a lot of foreign films, and a lot of foreign films are like this. They're slow because they're more into developing characters, the relationships between characters, developing a story, and everything's usually layered like this film a lot. So it's not that it's slow and it's at a really slow pace, compared to superhero movies and, movies where something's fighting every 10, 15 minutes, or something blowing up and car chases and people shooting at each other and all that, and tons and tons of CG special effects and stuff. Yeah, it would be slow paced compared to all that. But, the film is really excellent. And one thing I want to talk about, really, really get into, is the music and the sound effects in this movie. Awesome. I mean, completely awesome. Like, I would go so far as to say, as the person who did the soundtrack for this film, wow, incredible, really an incredible job. I actually think the soundtrack was like the 3rd actor in this movie because it played such a part of it played really on your mind, and it set up the tension and the mood. And this ritual that they're doing in this house, I mean, they're in this house for like 6 or 8 months, and it's torturous. I mean, this woman is literally being tortured, and you can feel it, and the sound makes you feel it. What did you think about that?
I thought, yeah, actually, there was one other movie that did this for me.
Which one was
Built
that?
tension, was As Above, So Below. It had that kind of claustrophobic kind of feel to it, which I really liked that movie too.
Right, because they were down below underneath the Paris catacombs in there and stuff. And
it was really good. But what I liked about this was the interaction between the characters. There was, how they reacted to each other in different situations. There was a lot of back and forth between the characters that
Right.
you didn't expect.
Right, and I heard some people when they were viewing it saying, "I got lost. Like it didn't seem to make any sense. Didn't have any meaning." That's just because, I mean, really, I hate to say it, but I think their attention and concentration span just wasn't there, because I didn't get that. I mean, I could follow this thing all the way through. And what time? We watched this thing like, what, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, we watched it really, really early in the morning, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and watched every minute of it. Like I was glued to the
Yeah.
the TV the whole time.
Yeah, we had some coffee and we just sat here and just watched this at like 4. And we couldn't rent it. It's not available for rental, so we purchased it. And I mean, what do you think? I think it was a good buy.
Yeah, I was definitely glad we did purchase it. I would totally watch it again.
Well, I think we will watch it again,
Yeah.
probably a couple times. Just,
It was so good.
I mean, we know what's going to happen, but and that's the thing too, is this whole ritual thing. I mean, you don't really see many occult films that get into ritualistic magic and things like that, but this didn't have. I mean, there's some trippy things that happen, but it's more kind of on the subtle side. I mean, it's fantastic and kind of unreal in a real way, but it's what I loved is they didn't when they were going through the film and there was things happening, they didn't resort to using CG effects and jump scares.
Yeah.
Like normally, an American film, I could have seen that all day long. They would have CG effects. They would have put in jump scares. They would have,
Use the mirror thing.
Yeah, the mirror thing. She looks into the mirror and sees her ugly self or something hideous. So I'll get into this one part without even saying anything. She's in this room, this dark room, kind of towards the middle, and things are starting to happen. And how it's done, I mean, you'll know when you get to this part, but how it's done is awesome, because normally in these U.S. made horror films, you will see something pop out of the wall, or they're standing there in a corner and then they come right towards the camera, or they chase the person and knock them down, or just something weird and kind of like that. And that's been played over and over again. But in this movie, they didn't do that. They didn't resort to like jump scares. There's just like little subtle things. Like, one thing I loved, I think you picked up on this too, because we talked about it afterwards, was there's these little voices and sounds that are kind of embedded, layered into the soundtrack, like layered into the soundtrack, and you're going, and then all of a sudden you notice the character in the film's actually hearing it and reacting to it. So it's just not a sound effect, it's actually something that they're experiencing with you. I thought it intensifies it, it makes it really intense. And I'll tell you this about the end, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but the end was really, for me, it was really, really satisfying. What did you think of the ending?
I liked the ending.
You liked the ending?
It.
Yeah, I liked the ending. It was intense.
Wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. It really was unexpected, because you think it's going to go one way and it kind of goes another, but yeah, it was trippy. It was really trippy. It was really, really, yeah. I was amazed at the end. The ending was great. I think they did a great job. Anything else to say about this?
Just that I would totally recommend this movie. And this is not the first movie we've seen that came out of Ireland that was really good.
No, we saw another one. I can't think of the name of it right now, with the starfish. I did a review on the site about that. I believe that's an Irish movie too. But yeah, right on Ireland. I mean, you're making some great films. I mean, excellent indie horror and psychological. Yeah, I would highly recommend this movie. What's it called?
A Dark Star.
Yeah. A dark what?
A Dark Star. A dark... What is it called?
It's not a dark star.
Hold on.
Well, it's okay.
A Dark Story?
No. A dark song, I believe.
A Dark Song.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to cut that out.
Yeah. The name of this movie is A Dark Sun.
A Dark Song.
Oh, the name of this movie is A Dark Song. We saw it on Amazon. and it wasn't for rent. You have to buy it. It was like, I think what, like $14 or something. Totally worth it. But get a group of people around and turn out the lights and get some popcorn, and you will really, really dig this one. A Dark Song. I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's kind of a really amazing movie.
And just to end it, it's an intelligent film. I mean,
Yeah.
if you are into like, crazy, like the things blowing up and stuff, it's probably not going to appeal to you. But it definitely is an intelligent, intellectual film. I thought.
It is, yeah, I thought so too. It is a well made and smart movie, and the cinematography. Just I didn't mention that at all. I don't know why. Cinematography is beautiful. Really sets the mood. Filmed really, really well. I mean, everything you can imagine about this movie is there. It's so well made. I mean, definitely worth watching, even worth buying. I'll put a link below to where it is, where we got a hold of it. But I highly recommend this film.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening.